Hi, it's Annie Knox from the School of Education, and I'm here to talk to you about how you can use Yammer to enhance your course content and improve student engagement in face-to-face and online classes. As an introduction, Yammer is a tool that we have access to through the University of Redlands. It really operates a lot like a social media site like Facebook. But you can control who is engaging in that space. So you can limit it to just your class or just a group of colleagues. It's actually a pretty versatile tool. It can be used a lot of different ways, but I'm going to talk primarily about how you can use it as a classroom tool today. So to get started with Yammer, you want to go to your My Redlands portal and then find the waffle in the upper left-hand corner to get your app menu. So you'll see at the bottom there, the app for Yammer. So when you click on that, it will take you to your Yammer homepage. If this is your first time using Yammer, then it's probably only going to have that all company in the list of Yammers. The all company is the entire University of Redlands Yammer. You're welcome to use this, add stuff, comments, and articles, but to get started on your own class Yammer, you want to create your own. So click that plus button to create a group. This pop-up box is going to come up where you're going to want to add the name for your Yammer. So I make my Yammer names very explicit so students don't get confused. I use a course call number, the actual title of the course, and the semester of the course. This helps both me and students stay clear and organized about which Yammer they're using. It's also really helpful when you use it for the same class over several terms to keep clear which Yammer you need to follow. The next step is to add members to your Yammer. So you can either type people's names in and their Redlands email addresses will pop up, or you can just cut and paste email addresses straight into that box. You also need to decide if you want it to be public access or private access. By clicking private access, that's what I usually go with. Only members that you've invited can post and see what's happening in your Yammer. I find this to be a little bit more like a classroom space and provides them a little bit more privacy and comfort. So once you've added the students on your end, they'll receive an email that looks like this. To join the Yammer, all they have to do is click that Go to Community button. Until they click the button, they're pending and they won't be able to get into the Yammer. So be sure and remind them, click the button. So here's what my Yammer looks like once we get in. You'll see this is a brand new one. I hadn't posted yet at this point. I added one member. So it's a new blank slate. So it gives you opportunities to do different kinds of posts. I generally stick with updates because it's just really easy, but you can take polls, you can ask your class questions, you can do class announcements, you can give praise and kudos. I think it gives a lot of flexibility for how you can use it. Get creative. I use this as a way of really bringing current events into my classroom. I'll show you that in a minute. So once the semester starts, I'll have to add more students to my Yammer. So all I'll need to do is push this Person Plus button and it will pop up a box very similar to the last one where I can just type in an email address or type in a name for the University of Redlands directory. Once I add them, the students will get that same email and they can join right in. So here's my first post for this Yammer, and you'll see I typed right into the update box. I typed in my comment and then I just cut and pasted an article from the internet straight into that text box, and it populated it with the actual link to the article with the cover art for the article. So students can just click on that and go straight to the source. So this is how my students have used it in the past. This is just an example, a snapshot of one little exchange. I find that to get them started in the beginning, it's helpful to make it an assignment. It requires them to actually go in, log in, see what it's all about. But once they get going, I find that they use it really frequently. They can even download the app on their phone. So it's really accessible. And it really feels less like coursework and more like social media. So once they get started, they can get really engaged. It's a really good way for them to bring news stories in, extra articles. There's ways to add files from OneDrive and from SharePoint. So they can actually do class collaborations in here. And you'll see it really allows them to engage in a written way, but it's a little bit more alluring and fun than maybe just a normal Moodle discussion board. And it's a really great way for you to get involved with the conversation as well. I tend to post news stories and reply to theirs as well. So I hope you find this to be a helpful tool, and try Yammer.